Hello and welcome back to Stranded Deep, welcome back to Pacific Paradise, and welcome back to this island we find ourselves on. Last time we were adding a deep water wreck very close to shore. This time we're going to have to add some plants to a bunch of rocks. But we are on the PC version of the game, Steam version of the game, and for anyone who's new here, I'm just going to run through the controls real quick. We're using W to go forward, S to go back, A goes left, D goes right, Q goes down, E goes up, and if you push and hold the right mouse button, that pans the camera around. But wait, there's more! As we come in on the beach and grab the little yellow life raft, Ruh-roh, we are going to press R to rotate, T to transform, C copies or clones, and delete deletes. If you have something selected and press F, that focuses. But wait, there's even more! Oh, there's always more. If we hit up terrain, we have these three brushes: smooth height, set height, and raise and lower height. Now, the amount slider is inherited between all three brushes. That means if you have smooth height selected, and you are left clicking around the outside of your island, smoothing the sand down and say, oh, maybe I do want to raise a little land here, and you would just click over to the brush and press left click, you would put a spike all the way up to Moonbase Alpha, because that amount slider at this configuration, at this time of day, well, that's going to be a problem. So you need to get into the habit of taking the amount slider and cranking it all the way down once you're done with the brush. Save often, because if you make a mistake, there is no undo. The best way to fix a spike or a hole in your island is to simply go out to the main menu and then reload. But wait, there's more? Like I said, there's always more. This island is absolutely huge. If we turn off the ocean, we can kind of see that the actual amount of underwater area that we have to play with is very limited, incredibly limited. We put one shipwreck on and the butt is already hanging out over the abyss, which isn't great if you have thalassophobia, but what we've done has been slightly creative. Instead of having a bunch of sand all piled up underwater, we've put these cliff pieces in, so it looks like the sand is being held back and in fact is almost terraced. That means this thing can just sit here. Now if I go back to objects so we don't have the brush sort of floating around, you can almost touch the bow from the beach. Yep, the bow to whatever passes for the stern of this thing. And that's the entire depth of the underwater that we have before it becomes deep water. It's kind of crazy. This island is so absolutely massive, and the way we can tell that is if we go to structures, grab the door is the height of the player. In fact, it's slightly taller than the player because the player has to go through a doorway. And that's how you can judge scale. Yeah, this place is just huge. So this time what we are going to do is work on this area to the left of us, the rock area with Amelia Earhart's airplane. What do we have at the moment? Well, the island is roughly divided into 4 quadrants. The lower quadrant is the area with groins, the shipwreck, and the World War II structures. I did in between episodes. Oh no, I didn't in between episodes. I thought I got rid of this. Well, let's see if we can get rid of this. This is, if you go to objects, go to rocks, and scroll all the way down, this is Shoreline Rock 1, and if you let go of it, you can never click it again. It is very difficult, so what we do is put the camera as far down as we can go and sort of click around here, I think. There it is. There it is. As soon as you got it selected, press delete. Yeah, the only way to get rid of it is to look directly down upon it and kind of click around. Once it's gone, ooh, it's gone. Never bring Shoreline Rock 1 out again. You'll never get rid of it unless you're very, very lucky. So that's one thing we needed to do. So we've got the military stuff here. We're going to need to redo that section there. What we have here is the lava flow, and underneath it, the lava tunnel. I'm going to need to do something with the lava tunnel. It's not great as it is, but the lava flow has this cool walkway that gets washed over by the beach, by the water. Can you tell it's very late in the day? As we come across to the backside of the island, we have the forest, the woods, the trees. It's looking pretty good. We're going to need to come back and just add some more refinement to everything once we have blocked everything in. And then Amelia Earhart's aeroplane, who, despite the jovial nature of which we talk about it, yes, Amelia Earhart did amazing things. I mean, she was just an inspirational person, so yeah. And then we have the pilot's body. Well, that's the narrative that we're going with, and the coconut above it, which will drop when the player gets close to the island, and it'll look like they got bonked in the brain by a coconut. I may be a bad person. And lastly, we have the Caldera itself. The Caldera itself, what we have is a boat. We're going to get rid of the boat, and that's just for scale. I think we might just keep it simple on the inside of the Caldera. But that's not what we're doing this time. This time we have a bunch of these rock pillars. And this is good because it means that we can drag the sand out on the beach. We can pull it out further than we would otherwise have. And we can have these little inlets and things just to make everything look a little bit more appealing. But what isn't appealing is just a bunch of bare-ass grey rock. We've got some up here as well. It's fine. Terrain objects, so we got nothing selected. And let's go to trees, because let's start just putting a bunch of cool stuff in. We're definitely going to be using the ficus. The ficus trees, once we are done with the cook pines, so the pines are all in, the ficus trees are basically our bread and butter. Bread and butter. That's actually quite nice. So we got the ficus tree 1, ficus tree 2, and the nice thing about this is that they cannot be chopped down by the player, which makes them incredibly useful if you want to make your island pretty, but know that the player's not going to be going around just hacking away at all the trees, as is their wont. So what we'll do is just move it using the toggle, and no, I'm looking at the branches just yet, but sometimes in a 3D space you need to look around this toggle to just kind of work out which direction everything is going. There you go. So we just put it in there, and then we can lose control of it. That's actually not too bad. I did want the branch over here. If we want, we can go up, see if we can click. No, because the toggle is snapped to the pillar itself. Oh, there we go. R to rotate, and then if we pan the camera whilst looking at it, it's kind of awkward. I'm holding left click. Okay, that's better. So let's see. What do I want? Something a bit like that. Okay, cool. The other problem is because we've got a bunch of objects and the camera doesn't have constant velocity, as we move the camera over the objects, the camera is held and then released. So if we do that, it doesn't do it again. That jumping there is just simply because we're just skirting over the box, the bounding box for this thing. It's not the recording, it's not even the computer, it's just the way the game is. And the more objects you have in an area, the more it looks like you're suffering from lag. So I want the tree, but what I don't want is it to be too tall. Oh, jeez. Yeah, alright. Yeah. I'm going to stand on the Caldera top. There we go. I think what I want is this to be... Let me press T and slide this out. I want it down further. Yeah, no. I want it down further. Okay. Put that in. That looks like it's going to be fine. There's a bit of a weird like ghost branch on this that they never quite addressed. Like, there are leaves here, but there's no branch connecting them, so... But that's fine. Oh! It tasks me. It tasks me, and I shall have it. Wait. Are you quoting Wrath of Khan again? I always quote Wrath of Khan. That's the best Star Trek film. Is it? I think Undiscovered Country is pretty good. Undiscovered Country is probably better than Wrath of Khan, if I'm going to be honest. I do not like the new Star Treks, though. I just don't think they've... I don't think they're real Star Trek. Just, you know, don't hate me. I'm just telling it like it is. And yes, Moonbase Alpha is from Space 1999. That's good. Oh, cool. Well, that was perfect rotation, and that I'm just putting the base of the tree roots in the rocks, so it looks like it's growing from a crack in the rocks. Oh, Yeah, look. Suddenly everything's a bit more bushy, a little bit more broken up. Instead of just having a bunch of grey ass rock, we have these trees. And everything's looking a little nicer. But wait, there's more. Does there always have to be more? I'm afraid there does. We need some structures because that was never... The plan was never just to have these things floating out here. Structures, scroll down, seaport bridge broken. Yes. We know we can bring up 14 seaport bridges, but I'd like to save them. Okay. See if we can jam this in here. Can we? I mean, that would be nice, wouldn't it? So we'll need to hit R to rotate. We also need to keep an eye on stuff in the background. If that toggle jumps from one object to another, we need to be on it. On it. Like, someone who's very observant and who hasn't just got home from work. What do you do? I'm an image editor. Doesn't AI do that? You'd be surprised how often I hear that. No, not what we do, unfortunately. So I need to slide this sideways. So I need to slide it. Yeah, give it a little rotate. So what I'm looking for is I don't want the ends of this poking out of the rock. The rough boxy ends. Oh, are you serious? You can't see that. I just took my hands off the keyboard. This is so tricky because of all these rock pillars. The camera is just scooting and shooting all over the place. Which is probably an age-restricted video somewhere. Okay, right. So yeah, I want the player to do a jump here. That's what I want. So if we turn that off, we have, object selected, we have this walkway that goes above the beach, which entices the player into walking onto this first column, and then they have to jump across the second column. Now, we've done this before. Oh, now the camera's moving slowly. Oh, well, wonderful. Good for the camera, I guess. See if we can get one up here. So T to transform. You always have days like this? No, sometimes it rains. Is that the famous British sense of humour? The one that only the British get and nobody else does? Yeah, it's very dry, very self-deprecating is British humour. So I want a way of the player getting up here. Dooped. And then, but I want it to be another jump. Oh, oh. Let's see. I'm just raising it up as far as we can. Okay, that's good. So there's a jump and then another jump. Good. I don't think we need to add anything across here. I don't really want to do that, mostly because I like the view that this gives. I think tree here maybe. Oh, hello. Tree here maybe, just to give a better silhouette, a better frame. So as you're standing here looking out to sea, you've got these trees, you've got the aeroplane, and you've got, I think, a tree here and a tree here would just sort of frame that. And it would also mean that there is more stuff between the player and the open ocean, just to give them the feeling that they are, as they're walking around the beach, a little warmer. But I also want to sort of disguise this a little bit. There's a lot of metal work here, and it would be nice to not have this kind of as big and open as it is, especially since it's just kind of like hanging off. Yeah, let's move it down a little bit. So it's just sat on top of that rock pillar. Yeah, the camera in this area is going to be a pain in my butt. How much of a pain in my butt? Oh, the sort of pain in your butt where you're just like, I don't think I'm going to be sitting down for a while. And then you don't. So another tree? Another tree. I don't know. I don't know if we can realistically fit this in here. I'm going to put it on the beach. Then I'm going to drag you up. And then drag you in here. Drag it down. Okay. Yeah, this might work. And then rotate it. And I'm doing it deliberately off the cliff, so that if we lose the toggle, we can move it back in again, like we just did. There we go. Okay. Okay, now I need this area to be kind of clear, so we'll rotate it in a way that... There we go. Q. And then... There you go. Which means this needs to come in a little bit. That means we are going to have to put something there. I don't mind the leaves coming across the walkway. I don't think the player interacts with the leaves. The branches, yes. Leaves, no. Right, good. So we're going to grab an object from here, and we're going to grab a rock. A big rock? Yeah, a big rock. That's pretty neat. I'm just going to sort of drag that in, and then give it a little rotate. Because I don't want the roots poking out, but I also don't want to have to jam this thing into the rock pillar so much that it just looks awkward. So by doing this, we've just grabbed a bunch of rock, it's poking out, it's fine. It's not interacting too bad with that palm tree, but I will just give the palm tree a little rotate. And maybe just slide it out slightly. There you go. Terrain objects, the player will probably not end up down here. I mean, they could. There's nothing stopping them do that. So if we grab, let's grab an alocasia. Nice big chunky plant. Let's hit R to rotate. And then T to transform. Okay. So I've got that there, and I think what I want is the Ceremon 2 with the little flower on it. Because I want to really just kind of disguise the bottom of the tree. It's fine, it's just not great. Especially if this palm tree gets cut down. There you go, that's a little better. So what do we got? Scooty camera? Yeah, alright. You can walk up here, and what's up here? We need something to be here. We need something... Oh. I'm wondering if... What have we got selected there? Plant, 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 plant. That's the rock. I wonder if we can even select the tree now that it's... Nope. I would love an item list. For Stranded Deep 2, I would love an item list. So you can actually select something reliably. We're inside the cliff at the moment. And yeah, I think we just moved that plant. We did. I would love to be able to select this tree, but there is literally no way because all these objects are stacked up. Which means we're going to have to do something in order to get hold of that. So I can move that away. I can move that away. And I can move that, so I can grab that as a toggle. Good. Good. Just have to explode things a little bit. I just want that to lean over a bit more. It's better. And then click on that, and then T, slide that back in, and then U, and make sure you are the one, you're the chosen one, slide that back in. Move it out. Oh, give it a little rotate. No, it's the very top of the screen, but what I'm looking at is that leaf clipping through. Okay, fine, that's a little bit better. Good, just clearing off the top here because we can go to terrain objects, structures, there you go, structures. Structure everywhere except for where we click. And then I'll put you. Yeah, there we go. Keep putting these things on top of mountains. Yeah, I know. Why? Why not? It's a little reward for people who come up here. That's everything. So yeah, just a little reward. There'll be some treasure here because these things generate a little bit of treasure. The Skellybob is now in the rock, so there's no Skellybob. So maybe this was just someone's little lookout. Who knows? Who knows? You could get a nice view of the plane from up here. And would you dare jump into the water? Somebody might. I don't know if I would. So terrain objects, so you got nothing selected. So we got a little, it's not even a jumping puzzle, but you jump across again. If you fail, you fall into the water, so you're not going to break your legs. We've done so many islands where if you fail, you do break your legs. That is unfortunate. Unfortunate. Anyway, terrain objects, we got nothing selected. What have we got going on? This is looking fine. We need something here and here, and also probably under here as well. Yeah, I did say another tree, so we could do the same thing here. So your terrain objects, nothing selected. Yeah, you never know. You never know. You never know. Find the ficus tree again. I'd love there to be more trees, I really would, but I mean, it's just the state of the game. How long have you been playing? Since 2016. Since 0.12, I think? Something like that. 0.16, the game changed dramatically. I know that. Okay. That's what we want. Let's go and have a look from the beach. Rain effect. Oh yeah. It's a little better. Let's rotate up a bit. Okay. I don't think we can select this tree just by being on the beach. No, you are going to be incredibly... No, I think we'll leave that. It's fine. We'll leave it. We'll leave it. Sometimes it's just easier just to leave stuff where it is. What we can do though is... I don't want to add any of the... like Kura, aloe, none of those plants, but a little bit of alocasia here and there. Because the player might end up coming past. Let's do the rotate first. Coming past on the raft. So just add some greenery here. And then just give it that little rotate. To be honest, I don't think it's going to be too much. Okay, cool. It released just as... it released onto the rock pillar itself. Interesting. Terrain objects. Now, here's a thing. Could the player technically get up on that? Maybe. Let's go to terrain. Let's go to set height, retrain paint height from here. Change the size of the brush down, wildly down. Eyeball the amount slider so we don't snag ourselves. And then pull out some sand into this rock pillar. There you go. Now the answer is yeah, maybe. Smooth it back a little bit. Smoothing will... I mean, you have to do it, but quite often it just doesn't hold. Good. Could a player jump up onto the top? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. So we've got all of that stuff, which looks way better than it has any right to. Objects. I don't think we need to add trees to this, but some plants might be a good idea. So let's do that. And we can always add like a physics item or something to the top. That would be nice. Saruman. Yeah, can do that. It just adds a little bit of life to an area that otherwise wouldn't have any life. Maybe something here as well. So we could probably add the bit of a nana plant. There we go. There we go. Yep. Just adds a little bit of life to something that otherwise wouldn't have it. Nice. Oh, what about you guys? Well, we'll focus on them in a bit. Right, this. Alright, good. So what do we need here? Well, that's an excellent question. Glad you asked it. Can't add any pines, but we do need the palms. So let's see, where are the palms? 2. Some there. I think I'd like something here. Definitely here. So we'll go to rocks. Grab shoreline rock 2, not shoreline rock 1, because we don't need to be sad at this time of the day. Rotate this around a little bit. I love putting these shoreline rocks down and then just slamming palm trees into it. Oh, hello. What's under the water? What's under the ground? Boop. Oh. Yeah. A lot of terrifying things are underground. namely the bottom of this rock pillar. So what did that snap onto? You can push the camera straight through the bottom of the terrain. Sometimes it's good if you've got a load of stuff underneath there. But yeah, I'm going to put this here. Grab a tree, terrain objects, nothing selected. Because sometimes when you drag stuff out, it just rotates or whatever. The things that you have placed carefully. And then I'll just drop that down slightly. So it's basically just so the bottom of the tree is firmly in the ground. And then hit R, give it a little rotate. And do the same thing here. Slight smaller tree. So just jam it down, R, give it a little rotate. There you go. Just adds greenery to the grey. Lovely. Lovely. Terrain objects. So I think we'll just do the same thing. We'll just add some plants to here. Because I think what's going to likely happen is people will just walk past this bit. And they'll just be like, no, I'm on my way from there to here. So, yeah, I think that's a definite thing. We could add regular ficus tree 1, which is a smaller. There you go. Put that upright. Lean it slightly away from the bridge. T to transform, down into the terrain, R to rotate, T to transform, there you go, and then little R, and then it snaps out anyway. Quite often when I'm building, things just let go, but as you're walking along here, now there's stuff to your left. So you're not looking down at the cold ocean as you're about to make a jump over the cold ocean. It's just a little thing. Just a little thing. Yeah. The other thing we can do is add cocoa bushes. So terrain objects. Do you like the cocoa bush? It is a good bush. You are a good Joe. What's that from? Slam the camera into the walkway. It's from the Blade Runner. Blade Runner. It's some of my favourite films. The two Blade Runner films. I really love. So we're just hitting TNR and just putting the bush in the bottom of this, just to give it a little bit more life and greenery as you're running along the beach. Otherwise it's a lot of grey. Yeah, you could probably add something to that as well. But yeah, that's looking pretty decent. Don't think we could do the same there. Yeah, let's do this one over here. The camera velocity. I wish it just could lock. Cereman, yes, you. Let's break up the grey. There you go. Yeah, I really do like that 80s, like dystopian future, cyberpunk, which is it's the future, but it's also grey and dirty and visceral. Love that, and I love synthwave as well. Like Gunship does some really good synthwave, and Carpenter Brute does some really good dark wave. If you're into dark wave, yeah, Carpenter Brute for dark wave and Gunship for synthwave. Acacia. So yeah, just a few plants just to make it look a bit more homely. A little goes a long way. So 3 seems to be a good number. We can just add them around. Got them on the flower on it. Do you have a flower on you? No. Okay. Alright. In fact, I might just add a nana here. Nana plant. I might just do that. There you go. Nana plant's good. It's a little uncomfortable if you happen to jump on it as a player. Oh, look at that! 3 plants, and that rock is already looking a bit more nice. just decent. Yeah, cool. I do like that. So what we've done is we've added a bunch of trees to the rocks. We haven't done the hillside yet. We're definitely going to need to do something there. But by doing that, what we've done is, even the rocks where we've just added a few plants, it just breaks up that hard outline with a bit of nature. It looks like nature is just seeds have landed, things have happened. I didn't want to go too high above the pillars, so I haven't put the trees on the top. We can absolutely do that. Kept the area around the airplane a little bit open, so that's nice. So you've got that framing left and right plus the trees, and the body now has a little bit more reason to be here with the sort of overhead shelter. I just kind of dragged in a little bit of overhead shelter, but yeah, ultimately it wasn't enough. Good, excellent. Well, it doesn't seem like we've done a lot, but actually we've done a lot. In fact, we've done a lot for the whole freaking island. It's kind of tricky to say how big this thing actually is. It is enormous. It's about as big as you can make an island in Stranded Deep. But I am going to leave it there for the time being. If you like the series, definitely leave a little like, leave a subscribe. They both help the channel enormously. If you want notifications, dingle the bingle. If you don't want notifications, don't click the bell. And I'll tell you what, I'll catch you next time.